What up, everybody? InstructaBeats back again here with another InstructaBeats lesson. Today we're going to be talking about types of angles, okay? So let's uncover what our objective is today. Our objective today on the Babylonian tablet. Today I will understand the different types of angles and how to classify angles based on their size or how many degrees they are. But first, previously on InstructaBeats. Previously on InstructaBeats, we talked about measuring angles, right? And we talked about how we measure angles with degrees, which is really a unit fraction, right? 1 out of 360. If we split this circle up into 360 pieces, which we actually did, you can see all those little tiny pieces, that equals 360. A degree would be one of those, and we use that to measure angles. So if I had an angle that was, this big, right? There we go. Let's just make it like that. And it's not perfect. And I'm just going to estimate because my eyes are really bad. I would say that's about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I think there's maybe one. So I would say this is about 26 degrees, right? So this angle, the space between those would be 26 degrees. Well, today we're going to take this knowledge and we're going to talk about different types of angles. So here we have our classic tree map, and we're actually going to be talking about 4 different types of angles today. A right angle, which we've talked about a little bit, a straight angle, an acute angle, and an obtuse angle. But first, let's start with the right angle. Okay, so you see a right angle, and it is 1/4 of a circle. And when we do that, typically, instead we would use a little box right here to represent that is 1/4 of an angle, because if you had all 4 of them together, make a square, and a square is based on having 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides, but we digress. So a right angle measures exactly 90 degrees. Okay, so before we move on to the straight angle, let's take a dive into the pool of Babylonia to look at a key thought. So I kind of wanted to just make this clear again, right? This is 1/4 of an angle. It doesn't matter if that 1/4 is going this way, or maybe it's this way. This is still a 90 degree. This is still a 90 degree angle right here, okay? If it went that way, that's still a 90 degree angle. So that's a right angle, right? This is also a right angle if it was going that way, right? As long as we're measuring this space right here, right? Your right angle could be back and forth like that, or it could be this way. It doesn't matter as long as you're measuring the space in between, and that is equal to 1/4 of a circle. All right, back to our next type of angle. This one is a straight angle, and oh, look, it's a straight line. A straight angle is 1/2 of a circle. So if it rotates all the way through 1/2 of a circle, that would be exactly 180 degrees. And so a straight angle is exactly 180 degrees, right? It's going to be a straight line, basically, that is made up of 2 line segments or 2 rays. Next, we have a little acute angle. And the right and the straight angle had to be exactly. This is just any angle that's less than 1/4. So it could be 1 degree, which we learned in our last video lesson. You could probably not even really see the space in between it. That's a terrible line. Or it could be 89 degrees, which almost looks exactly like a right angle. It's just 1 tiny degree less than 90. So it could be an angle that's kind of in the middle like that. As long as the space between is less than 1/4 of a circle, we call that an acute angle. Anywhere between 1 and 89. Next up, we have an obtuse angle. Now, an obtuse angle is very big. That's why I talk like that. I don't know why. It's just the teacher in me, right? So that's in between 1/4 and 1/2 of a circle. So it's got to be bigger than 90 degrees, right? It's bigger than a right angle and less than a straight angle. So it could be really, really wide like this, right? Or it could be even wider, almost a straight angle, but not quite, right? Or it could even be upside down like this with tiny little rays, right? As long as it's bigger than 1/4 of a circle and less than 1/2, which is bigger than 90 and less than 180, that is what we call an obtuse angle. another Babylonia tablet message. This one from Kenny from the Jets. Isn't there one more type of angle? And Kenny from the Jets, you are correct. There's actually several other types of angles. These are just the 4 types of angles that we deal with the most, right? Right and straight. Those are kind of the 2 benchmark most important ones. Acute and obtuse. But there are 4 other ones. So let's take a look at those quickly too. Thank you, Kenny from the Jets. There's actually 3 other types that we're going to talk about. We have the reflex angle, the zero angle, and the complete angle, which some people call the full angle. The reflex angle is anywhere between 1/2 of a circle and a full circle. So it's bigger than a straight angle and less than a full or complete angle. So the tricky thing about the reflex angle, if we did this right here, this looks like an acute angle, but that's why we mark the space we're measuring with this little half circle right here, because for this one, we're not talking about that. What if we were talking about all the way around the outside? Then that would have been bigger than a half a circle, right? It rotated past a straight angle. And so this would be a reflex angle. So having these circles on the outside or the inside of the angle will be very important. So for instance, for this one, okay, this would be an obtuse angle if we're measuring that space. But if we were measuring around this side, you could see that'd be a little bit bigger than 1/2 of a circle. So this would be a reflex angle. The other 2 are very easy, exactly 0 degrees. So if there's no space between them. And then a complete or full, right, would be a full circle, exactly 360 degrees, right? And so these are kind of the 3 other types of angles that we deal with, not as much, but we want to make sure we touch on those as well. Thank you, Kenny from the Jets, for that wonderful question. All right, so here is your you try problem, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to pop up an angle on here, and you're going to either draw it down or just, I put a letter by each angle, and if you think it's a right angle, straight, acute, obtuse, or reflex, and you'll just write the letter or draw the picture underneath of those using the definitions that we have written down previously. So first up, we have A. And so go ahead and put A where you think it is. Pause video so I don't tell you the answer. And A should have been an acute angle. So let's put underneath the acute angle column right there. You can see that we were measuring that inside space and it looked like it was less than 1/4 of a circle. So it's less than 90 degrees, which makes it a little acute angle. Next up we have angle B. For this one you can see we actually gave you the number as well. So you're measuring the inside of that space and it's 45 degrees. So this one should be easy because you know if it's less than 90 degrees, it should be an acute angle. So go ahead, let's put that underneath the acute angle. And let's have angle C pop up. All right, angle C. Go ahead and pause the video. Write that down where you think it should go. And if you wrote it down underneath right angle, you are correct. The dead giveaway was the fact that they put a little square right there, right? But you can also see that looks exactly like 1/4 of a circle because you know you're measuring that inside part, not around the outside. And so that was a right angle. Angle D and E. Just trying to speed it up a little bit. So go ahead and put angle D and E where you think it should go, and then I will sort them for you. Angle D, hopefully you put in the obtuse column because one, it said 120 degrees. So you know that's in between that 90 and 180. It's bigger than a right angle, smaller than a straight angle. And you could also kind of see that. And again, you were measuring the inside part, which is why that circle is there. That way you knew that that is not a reflex angle. Now looking at E, E should have been a reflex angle because you could see from the dotted line that you were actually measuring the outside of that. So it turned all the way past 1/2 of a circle. So it's past the straight angle, which puts it into the reflex angle territory. Let's go ahead and sort those there. And then we have H and G, our last ones. Both look the same, but one's up and down, one side to side. And hopefully you sorted those underneath the straight angle column because you could see it doesn't matter. It's half of a circle, whether it's straight up or side to side, it's half of a circle, which makes it exactly 180 degrees, which is a straight angle. So hopefully we really walked you through the different types of angles you'll be dealing with and what makes them that type of angle, right? We have 90 degrees for the right, 180 for the straight, a small angle less than 90 for acute, bigger than 90 and less than 180 for the obtuse, and then bigger than 180 for the reflex angle on that. So thank you so much for checking us out. We know there's lots of different options online. Please check us out InstructaBeats.com for our merchandise, other video lessons, songs, links, timers, anything you need for the classroom. We have printouts. We got a lot of stuff on there. Check it out. Please make sure to subscribe, comment, let us know where you're watching from. Again, thank you so much. InstructaBeats out.